Peace, family. What's good with y'all? Welcome to Aboriginal Global Media. I am your resident professor tonight to discuss the upcoming live classes for Aboriginal University, the functions of the university, how we operate things, and the classes that will start next weekend. We were supposed to start those classes before. We had some post-summit activity, a lot of shifting going around, and so I had to delay the classes. But we are here to answer all the questions that you would want to ask me and address some of the procedural things that deal with the functions of Aboriginal University, and to talk about the two classes that we'll have starting next Sunday, 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., the Level 2 Health Diagnostics class and the Psychology and Predictive Sciences Level 2 class. All right. So we do have some announcements before we get started. I'm going to get those announcements out. I know it's still early, but every year we do a solstice celebration, Ramadan ball. So that will be in December. We'll be gearing up for that activity. The Ramadan ball is free for all nationals who are up on their constitutional dues. You don't have to pay for anything. Food, it's a free event. If you're not in the tribe, you can still attend. It won't be a free event. You have to provide a donation, but that donation is tax deductible. So look for, let's see if I can pull that up. Look for all of that activity to come from the Aboriginal Village Project.org. You will be able to get all of those details here. Share the screen with you so you can see it. And any updates to the itinerary and what's going on will be here. Official shout out to everybody who attended this year's Indigenous Summit. It was an awesome event. Thank all the speakers, the vendors, the participants. This was our 15th annual Indigenous Summit. I was looking back at some of the videos from the first summit and seeing how far we have come. It is really, really a dream. And so anything about the ball or any other future events will be here. Also, in the near future, we will be running a few things. One will be a monthly food and clothing drive for the community giveaway. We'll have announcements for that. That will be ran right out of the West End, and we'll give you updates to that. We'll also be doing free community classes once a month. And on Fridays, we'll be doing an Indigenous product and service community presentation every Friday. And that'll be at YG Urban Cafe. We'll be doing bioscans and all of that stuff there. So you can check us out there. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. I do want to pull up, let me see if I can pull up her flyers for this. Our great sister from Sankofa, is hosting once again the fast, 9 days of transformation. And so I want to share that flyer for everybody who annually participates in the fast. We thank our sister Camilla for being a pioneer in the community for quite some time. And I want to share her flyer real quick so everybody can participate. It starts tomorrow. It's 9 days. And you can join the 9 days of transformation fast group on Facebook. Participate. The schedule is laid out. All the discussions you want to have, questions you want to ask, you can go to the group 9 days of transformation fast. All right. And it's a great opportunity to get you introduced into fasting. Inside of it, there's a 3-day water fast, and you have 3 days of fruit and water only twice. So y'all should come out of there looking excellent, feeling excellent. And fasting is a very important part of your discipline. You executing your goals, you keeping your focus. If you can fast for 3 days, 9 days in these periods, then you can do almost anything. So shout out to Camilla for presenting us with this and working with the sisters for quite some time. Shout out to Sankofa for all the work they do in the community. And we want everybody who is not used to fasting, go on over to the group, push yourself. Even if you don't make it, you got an opportunity to test your willpower and then move forward stronger, wiser, more disciplined, all that good stuff. All right. So check out the sister, because we need our community to learn to fast and be disciplined. That's a huge part of our development as a people. Shout out to all my folks in the chat. All right, let's go back. Dr. Dredd in the building. E-Shell Tribal Birth Ministry in the building. Let's get y'all in here. What's good, family? What's good? Sinku in the building. The Queen, Dr. Neith in the building. Ty Lee in the building. Shout out to Ty Lee, one of the greatest agriculturalists that we have. We look forward to all the work that she's doing on Sundays. Our sister is running an agricultural class at the community farm for the YG movement. You can go on Facebook, ask about that, participation in it. And we look forward to all the great work that all the agricultural scientists, Brother Kwahu, Brother Assad, all of you, if I don't mention your name, just because there's so many of y'all, doing great work in the community. And there's nothing more important than feeding yourself. The most important person amongst any profession in any community is a farmer. Someone who knows agriculture can save your life, maintain your life, enhance your life. So that's a great showing by our sister volunteering to come out Sundays, get hands in the ground, teach, train children, mothers, fathers, everybody in the community. Mastermind Comics in the building. Our brother Kojo. Shout out to Hawab in the building. all doing great work out there in Region 6. And so thank you for all of the great work that y'all do out there. So let's jump into the subject. We're here to talk about Aboriginal University. What is Aboriginal University? First of all, let's go to our website. This is a private website, so you can't just enter it. But for those of you who are members, you know that you can go here and you can see what we're all about. And let me start off with this. In order to improve the condition of our people, we have to enhance our education. We have to enhance our skills, our know-how in many different fields. The world is changing. The service-oriented market is closing down. White-collar jobs are going to disappear by 2030. And so we need people who have unique types of services that can serve our community. We're mentioning agriculture. You'll be able to come and take an agricultural class from Ty Lee soon, a full credentialed one. And we really need to focus on the things that will still be in existence as technology comes. And we also need to focus on our own jurisdiction. I graduated from Temple University. I have a degree, a regular degree. But what I have found is that education has to be tailored and streamlined specifically to trades and skills, services that someone can immediately use for their economic, resourceful, and entrepreneurial experience. So the purpose of designing Aboriginal University was to do that and to make improvements in areas of science, tech, all the educational history, all the educational areas where you've been deceived. It's cool to have TikTok and a whole bunch of pages where you have influencers and they're posting about whatever they're posting about, deception of history, etc. But if you want to change the world, you have to change the literature. And you change the literature by doing dissertations. And dissertations are peer-reviewed by your peers. So I've done peer reviews. I've been peer-reviewed by people in the tribe. And we have a whole peer review system that is unbiased. Unlike some of the peer review systems, I can't go to Harvard University and bring my free energy device, do my dissertation, and expect to offload my patented technology into the market. But what I can do is we can operate within our tribal jurisdiction, and I can offload my patent to everybody that is a national. And if it's a free energy device and they are on tribal land through the mechanisms that we use, we just live and operate it. And I have two designs for free energy devices. One is mobile, one is not mobile, to run a house off of. And we can teach our children how they can gain patents and never lose them. All right. Most of the Western world structure is built off of stealing people's patents and then upgrading whatever they have over time, and no inheritance goes to your family. So we decided way back when I was the principal of Muhammad's Islamic Academy, also known at the time as Academy of Universal Science, to start working on the curriculum for Aboriginal University. I was already teaching the children ages 3 to 17. And so we made our focus. We developed the school as social media developed 2010, 2011. We're like, oh, this got to be an online thing. And you need to understand, like, in the future, nobody will go to class in a university. It's just not going to happen. Real estate is going to shift dramatically between the years 2030 and 2040. Everybody is going to be using technology, online means of communication. So we understood that way back 2010, 2011. We developed Aboriginal University as an online curriculum school so that our people could get credentialed and certified in areas of services, trades, whatever that we could offer to the community. And so let's talk about this because we're 16 minutes in and I want to jump right into the information. So let's go to the website so we can get around a little bit. And I can show you what you came to see. All right. So this is our main website for Aboriginal University. We have all types of classes here. And what I want to go to is dissertation registration. And so a dissertation registration is you, after you have completed level 1 and level 2 work, coming forward to bring a unique perspective on a service, product, invention, etc., whatever it may be, so that it can become a part of your family's inheritance. You will publish a material that becomes a source of economics for you and a source of professorship and teaching. And you will, if you want to, either license out a curriculum that is already present at Aboriginal University. For instance, I won't be teaching live classes anymore. So any professor who wants to license out my classes and use them, my textbooks, for delivering it to the community, and they have gone through the requisite levels, they can do that. Or they can develop their own curriculum for that particular area and get it peer reviewed by the board and move out. All right. We have 7 people on the board right now, and we're about to have more because we're reviewing dissertations as we speak. And so this dissertation review, I'm just going to scroll through so you can see the information. When you go back and watch the video, you'll be able to see what this is all about. And we asked a lot of questions because what we do with this information is we outline and format 2 things for the person if they don't have it already. We outline a structural outline to deliver the dissertation, and then they edit it as needed. We provide bibliographic resources and sources for accumulating the best data on the subject that's present on the planet right now and provide them with that particular information. And at the end, we do a peer review edit for grammar, conceptual concepts, making sure it's thorough, because this is now going to become a textbook that this person is out in the world delivering. And so midwives, Indigenous doctors, Indigenous psychologists, jurists, anthropologists, economists, all of you, tech people, whoever you are, all of you have the ability to come do these dissertations. All right. And it's a great opportunity for our people. Let me get you to understand what the vision is. It's a great opportunity for our people to understand where they're going to be working at in the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Because if I ask some of you, you don't know where you're going to be working at. What you're going to be doing. What are you going to, and who are you going to be doing it with? Community will always be important. I don't care how spiritual y'all people get. I don't care how much metaphysics y'all get. I don't care how much master teachers from the conscious community y'all get. You'll never win as an individual online behind a page and a profile. you have to have yourself, your families, and your community together working on your vision. Not only can you participate in Aboriginal University, you can create your own Aboriginal University or university under the structure after you get certain credentials. So people ask me about my credentials all the time. As a matter of fact, there were people online, what's the sister's name? Akeisha Shabazz, Aunt Wes, others who committed defamation on me, right? Saying that I never graduated from Temple. You can go literally, this is public information. All of the people who are on Facebook and all these places who played football with me and I have ties to for decades. But I will say that my greatest learning and credentials have come after that. There's nothing that Harvard University, Temple University, University of Pennsylvania, any of these schools at this moment can teach me. I'm sorry. The information is just not there. The type of information that we need to be dealing with in the fields of agriculture, mainly tech and engineering, it's mind-boggling to some people. But it's real things that in the future will be in high demand, because what you're doing might not be in high demand. And because you may not know how to use AI in a proficient way, you got AI writing your books. Are you kidding me? Man, you better get AI to develop you apps and other things that will be useful. And I'm not putting down your book that AI wrote for you, but you're not understanding the warfare that is a part of curriculum. Let me stress this. Curriculum in the world that we have been living in for the past few hundred years is warfare. Whoever controls the credentialing of people controls the working class. And it could be to their transformation or to their detriment. Where did you go to school at? I can't go to Harvard University and learn about biocosmology, the 5 components and the 5 conditions, or any of that. I can't learn predictive sciences. I can't go get analyze a bioscan immediately and tell me everything that's going on in my body by reading the membrane potential of cells. It's not going to happen. The current curriculum that's ruling the world is backwards. And so you need serious upgrades. We got cell phones, we got cars, we don't even know how they work. Imagine that. You use stuff every day and you don't know how it works. Not that you need to be a technician at it, but you do need to understand how it works. That's an important thing. Who in your family is the doctor? Who in your family is the lawyer? I was just talking to my brother the other day, and he was breaking down, we know a lot of people in entertainment, sports, etc. And these people are our people. Now, I'm talking about our people. All surrounded by Jewish lawyers and all kind of other people who are doing their estate planning and everything. And it's a consistent thing that they usually end up without all of their money. So you want to understand where the racism is, where the defeat is not you arguing with Trump. The defeat is you send your children to school in a curriculum system that is a self-hypnotizing, anti-black, anti-indigenous, whatever you want to call yourself, anti-you paradigm. It is literally constructed to hide your identity. And if you don't think that what I'm saying is accurate, as I go into this discussion about health diagnostics and predictive sciences, you're going to see why in the study of human evolution and evolutionary biology are you learning that pale skin, hairy hominids were the original people. Why are you learning that? That is standard evolutionary biology teaching throughout all universities on Earth, except ours, because we're not going to be biased. We're not going to be up here talking about melanin. And you don't even respect the thing that creates melanin and empowers melanin. You just want to stand on your black melanin and your Pan-African hominidal. Please. Curriculum is defeating your children because they are not allowed to learn their identity. Go in your curriculums and they're going to tell you your Asians came here 30 to 15,000 years ago over ice into a land, and then you had the Anwick find and the Flint with the red ochre and the Clovis civilizations. And I'm sitting here like, man, I'm glad I did documentaries on this stuff to deal with the biased information. Nobody wasn't here no 30,000, 15,000 years ago from Asia coming across no ice. Are you kidding me? An isolated population for 30,000 years? Do you understand how absolutely stupid that is? But you will never understand how stupid it is if you don't understand population genetics. If you don't understand the migration patterns, pre-Columbian migration patterns and trade networks. I'm talking about you have this perception that the world was so backwards and primitive and people couldn't even get in boats and go nowhere before Columbus. Or they couldn't cross the Atlantic or the Pacific or are you kidding me? So now you have this idea when you hear indigenous people in this landmass that they are Asians. You're Asians. You are absolutely wrong. And there's a whole world constructed upon it. There's billions of dollars that are allocated from the federal budget to support that lie. And that's all built on curriculum, designed intentionally. And so what I'm saying to you is you are looking at the problems of the world, and I have a secret for you. In this universe, you cannot holistically solve a problem when you are detached from your divinity. The purpose of Aboriginal University is to deliver back your divinity through curriculum. That's the purpose. It's a humble purpose. We don't have a huge campus like University of Penn, Harvard, Princeton, Oxford. But guess what? In 20 years, those campuses will be empty buildings. Well, 30. I'll give you 30. Might be faster than that, though. Everything will be online. Everything. Not only that, you're going to need your own internet. Yeah, you're going to need your own internet. I'm going to tell a short story. My father had a friend when I was younger, and cool dude. He was all into technology. Brother Mel. I don't even know if Mel is alive. I gotta call my father and ask him if Mel is alive. But I was a little boy. And Mel had a radio station at his house. I used to ask my dad, how does he have a radio station? He's like, I don't know, man. He got antennas and everything, and he's running his own radio station. And this is the 80s. So I'm little, I'm like 9 years old. And Mel had a radio station at his house. Then the FCC was messing with him and everything. It wasn't, you could get away with stuff like that for a little while longer than you can now. But yeah, this is a brother from South Carolina. Went and got his antenna, figured out how you could literally ride in the car and turn to Mel's station. So I grew up around this type of stuff, 9 years old, 10 years old, wondering like, you can make your own radio station? Now I'm sitting and I'm like, oh yeah, I can almost understand how you can have your own internet without. See, let me explain something. And this is for Aboriginal University. This is about going back into your divinity. If you're impressed with this world, it's because you're defeated. And you are not intelligent. If you are impressed, if you're impressed with the technology, if you're impressed with the architecture, if you're impressed with the politics, if you're impressed with anything in this world, that is my vetting system to tell if you're intelligent or not. And it's okay. It's just my vetting system. But I'm telling you, you're not intelligent. Now, how do I know you're not intelligent? I know for a fact you're not intelligent because nature will give the same analysis of you. And what does it have to do with Aboriginal University, brother, in the classes? Oh, trust me. It has everything to do with it. Because that's what you learn in Aboriginal University. You learn the laws of nature, the real ones, not the ones in all of these taboo books, the 4 agreements, and all of these. No, I'm talking about the curriculum of nature is specific. It's not based on your belief system. And that's the most beautiful part about it. You can't fake it. See, if you're going to design something that is giving back somebody's divinity, and if they go through it, it delivers every time. It delivers every time. There is nobody. Let me say this now. And I know everybody who's done dissertations because I've been a peer reviewer of them all. There is, and this is a secret now. I'm telling secrets now. There is not one person who actually did one. I'm not talking about people who tried to do a work and then get it counted as a dissertation. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about people who actually wrote out their dissertation. Every one of those brothers and sisters, in my vantage point, and I will not lie, are completely in their divinity. Completely. You don't have problems out of these people. They always show up. They're about their physical health. They're about their family. They don't have a disagreeable nature at all. And when there's a problem, they understand problem solving on a high level. A high level. And so that's my experiment because I designed it that way so that by the time someone wants to actually get to dissertation level, they've went through a certain type of study and experience. And even performing the dissertation itself. And this is not new. Al-Jahiz, a 9th century Muslim scholar whose family was from Ethiopia and Yemen, wrote a book called Al-Kitab al-Faqra al-Sudan al-Bidan, the book of the glory of the blacks over the whites. This is an original man writing this to deal with the racism of his time period. But this man wrote over 200 books. Zoology, psychology, chemistry, botany, history, poetry. How does somebody write 200 books on academic subjects of that level? He told you how he did it. And when he told you how he did it, Darwin took 3 of the 4 things that he did and made natural selection. Darwin's professor was Jewish and was skilled in Arabic and Hebrew, and he delivered Al-Jahiz's materials to Charles Darwin, and he developed natural selection off of that. Natural selection is just missing one thing and has one erroneous concept. But my point is, you get it. Dissertations. This is an ancient thing where our people develop skill sets through the exercise of writing, experimentation, analysis, assessment, peer review. This is not new. The only thing that's happening now is rich people are paying off scientists, scholars, etc., to confuse the world. That's what's happening. And that's why you're confused right now. You are not intelligent. You're quite dumb, and I can prove it. And you might be mad at me. Oh, who do you think you are? I don't think I'm someone. I know exactly who I am, and you're dumb. And the reason why I can say you're dumb, because I can ask you one question and listen to your response. Who are you? Yeah, you. Who are you? I'm not asking you about ancient Egypt. I'm not asking you about ancient She civilization, Maya, Olmecs, the Akan, voodoo, divination. How do you? No, I ain't asking you none of that. I ain't asking you about no science questions. I ain't asking you, do you understand calculus? Nothing. I ain't asking you none of that. I ain't asking you about your cartomancy. I ain't asking you, who are you? Let somebody elaborate that answer that tells if they're intelligent or not. And there are certain things you should look for. Because if the answer does not have purpose, lineal identity, family lines, lineal identity, and a description of your true origins, that person in life will go along to get along. That is what's going to happen in most of their life. This moment right here, those types of people lose every time. They have no community. They don't have a thought of teamwork, cooperation, how to engineer networks so that as the world shifts to lots of people trying to take the resources, they can survive. Those are the people who are going to get in line, take every shot, every new vaccine that comes out, take the transhumanism chips and all the other things that are going to start to be delivered out within the next 15 years. Yes, they will be in line. Yes, they will be in line. We don't believe you. And so Aboriginal University is to help you understand your own divinity. You should be able to answer that question. Because you have the name that you have for a reason. Why do I have the name Ali? Well, my father gave it to me. So now I have to peer into my Father's mind, the man that I came through in order to get here. Gave me a name at birth with purpose. He imprinted an energy on me. That could be functional or dysfunctional. If it's dysfunctional, you want to change it. If it's functional, you want to enhance your mind to understand the pathway by which you got here. He named me Ali after Muhammad Ali. Is it by chance that I absolutely am a boxing addict? I'm a boxing historian, a boxing addict. I've been doing it so long, it comes from that imprinting. I box myself. I taught my son how to box. I watch boxing more than I watch, well, not anything outside of academics and learning. Yeah, I watch boxing more than anything. If a fight party coming up, I'm hosting it. Energy is real. Identity is real. Understanding the mind of your parents is real. And so I got that name on at birth. I know a part of the reason why I have that name. Then the name means the best, exalted, the most high. And I got the name with the ancestor attached to it in my direct ancestor system, the oldest one that wrote. The name is Oshlahun. That's my ancestral energy. And Oshlahun was later, as we translated our divination system to other people on the planet, labeled in the tarot system as a king of clubs. What is the king of clubs? It's Ali. Now I know what I'm here to do. That's why I have an Aboriginal University. I'm a king of clubs. That's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I was a principal, teaching hundreds of Black children in North Philly at 26 and Cecil B. Moore. King of clubs. Oshlahun. That's why I'm into combat. Since 1998, I have practiced Senuka's Rule. Senuka's Rule is a system that Moses Powell developed for the FOI to protect our community. It is a form of jiu-jitsu. That's the champ. That's the fighting energy. And so all I'm saying is, who are you? Is your university, your curriculum addressing you first? Because if it's not addressing you first, what are you teaching me? And why are you teaching me? You can't even go to your universities and learn more about yourself. I just need you to think about that. Think about it. You can't even go to your curriculum and learn about yourself. Or you're going to learn from Sigmund Freud and Jung and all the psychology. Are you kidding me, bro? Nobody wants to learn that bullshit. And so Aboriginal University will lead the Black future of excellence, the Indigenous future of excellence. It is going to. It is doing it now. Already in a very primitive state. Let me show you what Aboriginal University does for you. It does this. Shout out to Blue Lotus for sponsoring this show, because I don't get government money. even though we about to switch that up. We about to get some government money. But I didn't build nothing around me. I'm talking about everything. For all of my children, nothing around me came from anywhere but my mind. Yeah. Shout out to Blue Lotus. We're not even going there. We're not going there. And so let's deal with the first class. We're going to deal with the health certification. All right. Level 2. This level 2 certification is a requirement before your health dissertation. There's a level 1 health and there's a level 2. You can take level 2 before level 1 in this particular vein if you just only want to learn how to do diagnostics. That's on you. It's going to be a lot of pressure because you're going to have to learn a lot of anatomy, physiology, terms. So taking level 1 is best. Let's take a look at this. And let me say this. Well, I'll wait. I'll address that in another environment. All right. This on the left is a magnetic analyzer. It requires the use of a laptop that uses Microsoft Windows, not a Mac. This does not work on any Mac platforms because y'all know how Apple get. So you need a desktop or a laptop that's running Microsoft Windows. All right. So let's read it. Bioscan analyzer right here. To activate it, you must have a laptop or a PC. Load the software using the USB flash drive. So you get a flash drive with this. You load it up. All right. Most of the laptops now don't have external drives. So when we mail you this equipment, we mail you a drive too. You will have pre-recorded videos and live videos, of course, start next week. Your homework is electronic. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you can see it. Literally, you go online to Aboriginal University once you get the password. And once class is over, you go, you fill out your homework. You submit it. You get a copy. The professor gets a copy. All done. It even self-grades. Now, the homework is not graded in the sense of, let's say, man, you bombed out on the first homework. It is graded, but it's not graded in the sense of, okay, that's going to determine your credentialing because you have an exam. But your homework is electronic. You use the live class. It is a self-paced course. Now, there is a caveat. And we give this out to all of the students. It's in the description too. You have to put your laptop or computer in S mode. That's a safety mode. And you have to remove the virus and protection softwares. Why are you doing that? Because these tech companies don't want you to be using this equipment. So you can get a laptop for like, these are not expensive. Go get a Walmart laptop. Something simple. And once you get it, you disable it. We have a video on that and how that's done. already loaded up into the curriculum, and then you can run the software. Now, once you start running the software, you're going to be amazed at what it can do. Now, if there's anybody, and you do your research, I promise you, you will get opposing views. If there's anybody who gets any hate mail because of the bioscanner or its functionality in diagnostics, I'll tell you this. It is more functional than a blood test of any type, hormonal panel, any of these panels that you can take. The only thing that I think is more advanced is the DNA methylation test or MRI. Other than that, you can't even get close to this. And we have the records. One of the greatest records that I have is unfortunately a client who I didn't get to treat. He had terminal colon cancer. I did his scan, left to go try to, get his stuff ready. He died the next day. But I got the Emory Hospital Diagnostics. And when I did the bioscan, oh yeah, it showed all large intestines dysfunction. I posted it on all my social media. And time after time, because we have to keep client file books. When we take the patient's information, and now we go out and we do the scan, it's matching it. But you can do this in 120 seconds by taking no blood, just holding a metal rod. You say, oh, it's a metal rod reading things going on inside my body. You get on the treadmill all the time and put your hands on the bars, reading your blood pressure and all kind of stuff. You got to understand technology. And this is reading all of the membranes in your major systems. Cell membranes, ion channels, the action potential, active membrane potential, and resting membrane potential, which should be in a range for each cell set. And if you get out of that range, this is measuring literally the electricity in your body. You get out of that range, your cell has some dysfunction. And the dysfunction we can chart because we know that methylation changes, turning on and off genes, affects genes. Genes are radiative, right? Meaning they're receiving communication and they're transmitting signals. Things that you learn in this class. How do you think you could take some vitamin D, right? You could take some under your tongue. It could be like, dry, or take some vitamin D tablets. It could be 2. 5,000 IUs or something. How do you think you're taking that into your stomach? And you think it's traveling to every part of the body? That's not how the body works. And this goes back to what I was talking about with Aboriginal University and the internet. See, you think the internet is wireless. It is only wireless partly. It's built on top of the old landline system. The internet is highly wired. Now, nature is wireless. And so when Tesla wanted to build wireless networks that can control the lights and everything, people were looking at him crazy. Don't look at him crazy. If you understand nature, you can make a wireless system. And so we will, in the future, build our own internet. We're going to have to make data exchange because the stuff that we're going to be exchanging going to be damn near illegal. But the point is, nature uses a wireless system. Your cells use a wireless system. When you understand that, you can understand how this machine actually works. And You will be able to do this. Every family needs to have one of these machines and somebody who can go through and do the diagnostics and help their family. Everybody needs it. Everybody needs it. And so that entire class, from class 1 all the way through, is about you doing those bioscans, doing analysis on all of the systems. And we have it laid out. So let's take a look at it. What systems are we looking at? I will show you. What are we looking at? I'm about to show you exactly what these students are learning. So you can understand how advanced it is and why you can't get this at Harvard. You can't get it at Yale. You can go, as soon as you're done with this, you can go right to work. You don't have to wait. We're not going to restrict people from going right into their work. Do you understand? We have the ability to make your children complete geniuses. Oh, look what they're saying now. What are they doing to my computer? They won't let me share. Oh, what's going on? Try capturing a different screen. All right, let's see. I'm going to have to try to capture something different because they are not letting me on this joint. They are not letting me on. All right, so let's see. Let's go back to our, got internet links. Here they go. Y'all know how these folks. I mean, and you know, sometimes when people say that, oh, they're messing with mine. And people don't believe them, right? But let me share something with you. If you understand what the internet is, you know exactly how that happens. All right. So this stuff is ran by AI, and they're selectively buffering out still information. So I can't share books right now, and that's fine. But basically what I was going to go through, I'll just read it out from the book. All right, so you have all types of different cells in the body, right? Yeah, all types. Hair cells, skin cells, bone cells, muscle cells, smooth muscle, nerves. You got all these different types of cells. And let me ask you a question. Very simple to answer this. If you have all these different types of cells and they all have the same DNA, why aren't you a blob? How did your stem cell that has the same DNA as all the other cells know to become a hair cell? How did it know to become a skin cell? How did it know to become a bone cell? How did it know to become a nerve cell? How did it know to become a liver cell? How did it know to become a stomach cell? How did it know? How did it know? What is happening, and this is still level 2 health we're talking, what is happening in the cell that has the same DNA? It's called methylation. Absolutely. And so what is methylation? I'll show you what methylation is like. Methylation, think of this as the DNA. The white part is the DNA. Think of these right here as methyls, the black. The black is methyls. And what the black is made of is carbon and 3 hydrogens. 1 carbon, 3 hydrogens. That's a methyl. All right. Or you might have acetal, like acetylcholine, which is a form of methylation, but just slightly different. But your carbon and 3 hydrogens are on the DNA and they can turn it on and off. They can turn the DNA on or off. So the difference between your hair cell and your skin cell is that some things are turned on, some things are turned off, and in the process of turning on and off, you can diverge cells to migrate into the artistic creation of a skin cell versus a hair cell. Go to Harvard, they have no freaking idea how that happens. You say, well, of course they do, because they understand methylation because you're reading about it. No. I'm not talking about methylation. I'm using methylation to talk about something else. Let me slow myself down. We're using curriculum sources throughout the world, but we're different types of artists and students. We are painting another reality with the same paintbrush that you're using. And so methylation turns things on and off, but methylation does not create itself. Methylation is an effect of something else, but effects become causes on the physical plane because I could pick up this bottle. Cause is I grab it. Effect is the bottle is up. But my arm and the bottles or the materials that make bottles comes from nature. And so when we're studying DNA methylation and how cells turn on and off through this one switch and can make variants in the physical world, different types of matter, different types of cells, then what we're saying is we're having a different conversation with that reality. What is the conversation that we're having with that reality? Well, we do know that methylation is also tied to ion channels. What's ion channels, Ali? Ion channels are on the membrane of the cell. And what these little ion channels do is they emit frequency. They are like a transistor. Transistor, like transistor on my cell phone, transistor in this computer, GPU transistors. What's a transistor? A transistor in a computer is just like an ion channel. They bring these little things together, and guess what? They're on the semiconductor, silicon, got all these little transistors, and what are they doing? They're elucidating communication, charge communication. When you speak into a microphone, that's your voice. But my voice is loud as hell. But ain't no way I'm screaming all the way out there to all of y'all. I'm not screaming out there to all of y'all. I could go outside and speak as loud as I want. And only the superheroes be able to hear me. Everybody else, y'all too far. You in Philly, you in LA, you in Africa, you can't hear me. But I can go into a microphone, speak right here, transmit my voice into an electrical signal, allow for that electrical signal to propagate into the wired system and then become wireless and go into your phone, your TV, or whatever. Your body does the same thing. So the ion channels are like transistors. They control electrical frequency and they use minerals to do it. Sodium, potassium, calcium ion channels. Y'all know this goes on in your body. So over 300 different types of identified ion channels. Ligated ion channels. And they're using minerals. Just like the semiconductor and transistors are using a mineral element. Silicon Valley. Silicon is the analog of carbon. So in the AI, they didn't just use the silicon chips, they added graphene to get the carbon inside of there. And so now that carbon is in your methylation and in your ion channels, and now you got this communication network going on. And now that communication network can cause transcription and translation, building of tissues using amino acids, and teach the amino acids like they're bricks which way to go. The amino acids are the bricks of your body. Plant-based people want to take away bricks. They're going to have you coal up in their house. Anemia. That was actually a double entendre. Because if bricks are being used to build a house as one of the ways of insulating and protecting it, and amino acids are the bricks of the body to insulate it and protect it. Isn't it interesting that when I do bioscans on plant-based people, a lot of them are coming up anemic? You don't got enough bricks. It's literally that simple. And so now your cells change based on an artful display of methylation, ion channels. You got the electricity, you got the signaling going on, and it can tell the body to weave molecules into eyes, skin, hair, teeth. Do you understand how fucking great you are as a creation? See, we don't know how to appreciate the reality of who am I. We take it for granted that you are 100 trillion cells. Some say 30 trillion. I don't care. Let's argue. If it's 30 trillion, this point still stands. $30 trillion cells, all doing some function without you having to consciously oversee it. Who the fuck can artfully design something that great? Like, ask yourself that question. Hit the like button. Get them folk up in here. Y'all need to be in class. Let me share the link inside of the chat. Y'all need to be in class. There is no way you can go learn this stuff. And not only that, we set it up so that, get this out of here. We set it up. Let me share this link. Let me share this link. We set it up so that you could go right to work. Like, y'all say y'all like solutions and y'all don't understand what we saying here. Yeah, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Up in class, y'all. This is the intro class. Hit the like button. Do you understand what we're saying to you, bro? Like, okay, so now that's a great thing that's happening. So now the people like me, if you're 50 years old and in good shape, the methylation is in good shape. The ion channels are in good shape. Because that is the way that cells communicate to each other through electrical and magnetic fields and chemistry. And so all the liver cells actually have a memory because they're not a stem cell anymore. They're in their zone of electrical bandwidth. They know that they're a liver cell. Think about what I'm saying to you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a really good example of what I'm saying. I was just watching a video the other day. Now, this is on cells, memory, and their existence. See, let me break this down. Cells communicate through wirelessly too. And if your methylation process gets messed up, there's a gene off and then it gets turned on. So let's say your grandmother ate so much fat back in pig, she got all the trichina worms and all of that stuff up inside of her body, and she developed cancer. Now, that's a somatic disease, meaning it's in a cell structure. But if she has your mother, and now the ovum that gets fertilized have some of those damaged gene codes inside of the thing, now it's not just a somatic mutation, it is a fertility mutation, right? It's incubated now into the seed. And so your mother could have a gene for cancer, but now it's methylated, because what happens when a child is born is the liver and the other parts of the body that already have a kind of an immune system, they are methylating genes so that the baby can make it. Because if they don't turn the off switch on these bad genes, the baby ain't gonna make it. It can't even grow to the full baby and come out healthy. But the baby makes it because the baby has an immune system. It's called methylation and demethylation. It can turn off the bad stuff. Now, why can it turn off the bad stuff? This video I'm about to talk about explains that. Because when you have cancer in the body, not only is it emitting electrical frequency, it's making a sound. Yeah, just like you can hear sounds that certain things can't hear, and dogs can hear sound. Yeah, it's making a sound, and these cells can understand that sound. I'll call it sound pressure. It's noise. So the electrical part and the sound part is noise. So what carbon and hydrogen are doing is turning off the deficient noise music in your body. They are literally, I'm not making this shit up, they are literally turning off the bad energy. You know how you say you don't want to be around no bad energy? No bad pheromones? No bad sound? No gossipers? So you're going to go the other way. You're doing exactly what cells do. So they're like, hell no, baby, you about to make it. Turn that off. But now the mother has that gene code. And so now what has to happen is when the mother has a baby, either she has healed herself so good that that gene code that had a mutation, snatch it out. You can literally, there's DNA repair process where you can literally cut and paste this shit out. But if that doesn't happen, now you're born and you have the gene code too, and it's methylated. But now you're eating bad. You living crazy. You doing, you know what happens? Carbon cannot even keep the pressure there. This carbon 3-hydrogen can't keep pressure. Boom! On switch. Now the cancer gene is demethylated. Now here you come. You got fibroids, you got tumors, you got liver cancer, you got something going on inside of your body. It has literally degenerated the tissues out of their memory. The tissues now don't know they're a liver cell. They don't have purpose. They're cancer cells. And what a cancer cell actually is a cell who does not have a knowledge of self. A cancer cell is a cell who does not have a knowledge of self. I'm going to say that one more time. Let me take a drink. A cancer cell is a cell who does not have a knowledge of self. And in order for the cell to have a knowledge of self, let me enlighten you, because I'm going to come to this example. I'm going to use white people to prove the point. Y'all go give me a damn Nobel Peace Prize tonight. I'm going to use your white folks, your white friends, your credentialed people. I'm going to use them. The reason the cell does not have a knowledge of self is because that memory system that it has of who it is, where did it learn it from? Ha ha! Yeah, we don't got to guess. I'm glad it's already known. They got the information. From where? You say they got it from the DNA. If you say they got it from the DNA, and we know DNA is built, what builds DNA? Uh-oh, we have a problem. We have a problem now. What build? Let's go to your biology class. What builds DNA? I'm gonna wait on my answer. Is it in the chat? Let's go to AI. I'm about to blow this whole thing up. I promise. Watch what AI tells us. This is about to get crazy. They're going to tell you DNA is built by an enzyme called DNA polymerase. Watch this. I mean, we're going to walk it down to how we do it, and you're going to see how important a bioscan actually is. What builds DNA? Anybody in biology should know this. It's an enzyme. DNA polymerase. Great. DNA is built by DNA polymerase. That's the standard model. Okay. You know what's coming next, right? Watch this. Excuse me. So here, look, check this out. How is DNA polymerase made? Watch this. DNA polymerase are made through the processes of transcription and translation, similar to other proteins. First, the gene for the DNA polymerase is transcribed into messenger RNA. Then the messenger RNA travels to the cytoplasm where ribosomes translate it into polypeptide chains, et cetera, et cetera. So it's made. Let's go. How does transcription take place? In the nucleus, the DNA sequence that contains the instructions for building a DNA polymerase is Wait a minute. DNA polymerase makes DNA. Then DNA goes back and makes DNA polymerase? I'm not wrong, according to what I'm reading. It's a circle. It's something making itself. All right. I don't want to lose nobody. All the intelligent people put a 1 up in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. You have what you call, is very simple, a biological loop. One thing is making another thing. The other thing is making the other thing. The other thing is making the other thing. They're both making each other. Now, if you say it's made of smaller things, sure, you're right. Amino acids are all in these sequences, etc. But what I'm trying to say is what you have is a self-assembling machine. That's you. And so now when these cells go out of whack and lose the knowledge of what and who they are, It is because of something you did. You did it. But when you go back down to the basic level, in order for cancer to come, there's a particular type of this part of the cell that has to collapse. It is called the cytoskeleton. But not only is the cytoskeleton collapse is now fractal. Collapse is now a symmetry inside of you. A symmetry is a pattern. You call it a lesson. You know, you looping the same lesson. Well, symmetry is when you're looping the same matrix of chemicals. That could be functional symmetry or dysfunctional symmetry. And so now cytoskeleton is collapsing. The cytoskeleton connects you to what we call the light field. You got all kinds of names for it. The spooky people call it the ether. The scientists are calling it the Higgs boson and trying to figure out what the... Okay, we're not going to argue on that. We're going to argue on functionality. When you lose purpose, you're a shell of yourself. And you get your purpose by recognizing who you are. And who you are is your divinity. And so the same reason you lose the opportunity to be the greatness that you are, cells lose the opportunity to be the greatness of what they are by what you're doing to block them. You're eating the seedless watermelon. You're the one that's not exercising. You're the one that keeps going to doctors who are giving you false analysis, 2, 3. They don't know why you got anemia. They don't know. They just give you more medicine. And each time they need your permission. Because the one thing that you should be doing, since you're putting your resources towards someone who's supposed to be solving a problem, is not letting someone scam you. Everybody on medicine is automatically agreeing with a scam. And the scam is, this medicine is not healing me, but I'm taking it. And I'm paying for it. That is not intelligent. That is dumb. If you did that in the street, you'll call me a scammer. But yet you go and you walk into rooms where people who have coats on, who do this every day in some kind of way, you are in some type of hypnosis where you don't have fair and equal treatment of anybody because you call me a scammer and you are going to them willing to get scammed. What the fuck is wrong with you? And you're walking around calling yourself an honest person, but you are defeating yourself for another external being who has no care on whether you're doing it or not. Over and over and over again. But it's the ignorance that sets in the fear that gives you the deer in the headlights function to where you cannot move now. All I'm doing is exposing it. So now let me go further into what I wanted to say, because these doctors, matter of fact, let me pull my notes out for this. I got to pull my notes out. These doctors, I was just telling somebody about this, are trying to get more memory, trying to build more memory for AI and other reasons. And so when you build memory in a computer, there's a way that you got to do that. You need more transistors. And so now these people have built transistors so good that they have transistors down to 1 atom thick transistors. Now, if you don't believe that this is possible, it just means that you lack the scientific mind. Way back in 2014, whenever I wrote Indigenous Food Science Volume 1, I put all of the diamond technology, nanotechnology, nanodiamond tech that literally constructs things on an atomic and molecular level. Like, this is old stuff now. And I could open that book to pull that up to show you. But what I want to do is go to these companies. I'm going to name the companies. Dishware Company, Final Spark Company, and Cortical Labs. Those are the three companies that I'm about to talk about the experiment that they carried out. So maybe I should even pull up the video. Yeah, that works. I can do that. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing that. Let's see if it lets me sign in. Let me go to another one. All right. All right, so this video essentially let's see if I can get my history and get to this. If I can't play this for some reason, if I can't play this, I hate when I do this. All right, so the company was doing an experiment where they wanted to increase memory, because it's not on this YouTube channel, and it's not going to let me go back to my history. But essentially, I named the companies, and I'll even, when I post this video, I'll link the link to the particular video in the description. But essentially, the scientists were adding human neurons, neuronal cells, over the silicon semiconductor and transistors in order to increase memory. And the reason they're doing that is because the transistors are working on a binary system. The cells work on a base 4 system. So human cells can hold infinitely way more data than computers, supercomputers, etc. The CPUs and GPUs is just not even close. The transistors have been made down to 1 atom thick, and they still cannot hold how much data the human DNA is holding. And so with that particular point, they're adding the neuron cells, and they're going to now see if they can get the neuron cells that have been put inside of a culture to learn to play a video game. And so now they're testing the functionality of these things to see if they have the electrical stimuli to think, behave outside of the human body. And so they run the experiment. And so the variables in the experiment are this. They're playing ping pong. It's like a ping pong game, right? hitting the ball back and forth. When the cells they're sending electrical stimuli that would equal moving the pads from the computer, looping it into the neural cells that are on the silicon chip and looping electrical data back, because the cells can now transmit, they can think. I'm going to prove they can think. And so they set up a reward system, an electrical, pay attention to what I'm saying, please, an electrical reward system. And the electrical reward system was, if you miss the ball, we're going to send non-coherent electrical signals at you. Noise. But if you hit the ball, we're going to send a smooth, coherent, con wave electrical signaling through you. The same as you would hear when you hear your favorite song or something that's in a really good flow. So they run the experiment. And through running the experiment, they asked themselves a question. What is the incentive for the brain cells emitting the signal, consciously emitting the signal to hit the ball versus not hitting the ball? What is their incentive? And the incentive that they hypothesized based on the data is that the brain cells want to live. Because they want to live, and they were sending them a signal that could scramble their electrical functionality and cause them to die. Even as extracted brain cells cultured in a whole nother machine, in a whole nother way, they kept their incentive to live. And how they express that incentive to live is that they love coherent electrical energy and they hate the noise. So where do you get perfectly coherent electrical signaling from? Where do you get it from? You get it from nature. And so now your cells now that are in your body, incentive to live is for you to partake in nature intelligently and follow its laws. So when I do the bioscan, I can see all of the cell resting and active membrane potentials that are outside of the proper range in your liver, in your spleen, in your kidneys, in your lungs, in your heart, in your pancreas, in your brain, in your cranial nerves, in your bones, in your muscles, in your reproductive organs. We can see everything that's out of range. And we can treat you. Yes, we can treat you. We have a waiver of liability contract. We got NDAs. We're in our own jurisdiction. We can help you heal the organ sets that are out of range. But not only that, we're also leveling up, because each one of these organ sets is not just an organ set. It is something that is reflective of greater psychological things that are going on in you that you need to address. Because that is at the core of the problem. The scrambling signal is coming from your head. It's coming from your head. And you can't have a scrambled signal in your head unless you are disagreeing with the designer of life. That culture of brain cells that was on that silicon chip experiencing that non-coherent energy considered non-coherent energy a threat to its existence. It was stress. Now, why are your thoughts at the end of the thought stress? You are doing something completely wrong in nature, not by opinion. There's something happening in the interface, in the loop. That's why I said the DNA polymerase is making it. Something is happening. I know what's happening in the loop. You do not know that you are a deity. And you also don't know that your deity is supposed to drive the vehicle. Then the vehicle rewards the deity by obeying the law. Because the deity is the cause and you are the effect. You are living your whole life thinking you're the effect. You living your whole damn life thinking you the effect, trying to make shit happen. And all the friction, all the non-coherent energy that you're feeling is because you fail to accept the fact that you are God. You're the key to Isaac Newton trying to figure out these forces that govern nature. And then physicists coming up with all of this stuff: strong force, weak force, electromagnetism, gravity, all. Yeah, they're all talking crazy. If your body falling apart, something is wrong with your gravity. You don't have to go to listen. These people are stupid. That's all I can say. They're not very intelligent for real. And even the ones who are running the other programs who are doing a lot of stuff, it's still not intelligent. It don't bring you peace. So you must be not peace. And so that leads us to the second part. Psychology part 2, predictive sciences. What are we doing there? We are building upon what I just said. Now we're going to look deep into understanding. That's not level 1. This is level 2. Level 1 takes you through the cartomancy, takes you through the introduction to the system, takes you through how to read the charts, the weekly, the daily, the 3-day, the 7-day, the 52-day, the annual. You going through all of these systems. Then you got to look at Malcolm X's life, look at Noble Drew Ali's life, look at the United States of America. See how all of these entities have functioned in time. Look at their charting and then learn to read time. Past, present, and future. People, places, things. Now, you're going to do something amazing that Freud, Carl Jung, none of them told you what psychology actually was. Psychology is the study of the psyche, the mind, but let us go right into it. What is the mind? That's the problem. I didn't say, what is your mind? I said, what is the mind? Now, we believe that our mind is our thoughts. That's what we believe. And I think, because I get up and I go to work and I make a check and I don't know what you're talking about. There's different levels of consciousness or awareness. The person on the 9 to 5 who just looks forward to their pension, they don't care about them pharmaceuticals that they on. They're good. All their bills are paid. They're good. Hey, man, I don't have nothing against you. I just want more out of life. That's it. To each his own. But when we're studying how you think versus how other people think, now we got to ask ourselves a question. Like serious questions. Because when we go and sit with a psychiatrist or a psychologist and they're, doing all of these things, they're not helping humans solve problems. They're not. Like, let me show you what I mean. Go look at the stats. Everybody's talking mental health, mental health, mental health, mental health, mental health. Oh, the mental health of people is getting worse. What are the contributing factors? Oh, we don't know. We're looking around trying to see. We don't know what's caused. There's so many things causing it. Well, you got all these things. You got jurisdictions. You got people. And y'all can't figure out how to make a successful society? Y'all can't figure that out? Or maybe somebody doesn't want to have a successful society. Let's even look at that. The point is, it's not working. And so the mentality of most people is very, very peasant-like. They don't want to do great things for themselves. And why? Because they're unmotivated. And that's a part of the planning. So now you have groups of people who are influencing other groups of people to think against themselves. And those other groups of people are unable to stop it. You know what that's called? That's called somebody being more intelligent than the other. But now we on TikTok, we online. We still on the mind because we're dealing with how people think and how they got to where they think like they think. People on TikTok exposing everything. What y'all talking about? The truth is out. What is it going to do? It's going to make people do things in rebellion. They let out a VAXX. People said, we ain't taking that. We're going to do our own research. Plan failed. So you mean to tell me there are people planning against you? And you didn't do nothing to them. But they want to control you. And so what type of thinking leads people to want to do that to other people? Like, what type of mind does that? Let's go look for it in nature. I'm really about to blow your mind, for real. Oh, we look in nature and then we see, I'm kind of confused. Like, I just saw a lion hop on a zebra and eat it. I just saw some seals coming out and eating fish. Man, We out in nature. You mean we gotta take these trees and actually build something to protect ourselves from the lions and tigers and bears? Oh my. What's my point? My point is what your surroundings teach you is that you have to learn something in order to survive. Yeah. And if you're not going to do it for yourself, you'll be possibly in the trap of somebody else who's doing it. And if you still don't learn what they're doing, how things work around you, then you're going to get deeper and deeper stuck into this situation. And so what this one lesson teaches you is this. It don't matter what you thinking. If your thoughts cannot protect, guide, give you provision, give you the perspective in order to survive, your thoughts mean nothing. Why would we even talk about your mind? It don't even matter. You have lost your mind. And so now, let's hop off of that because I'm being a little comical. When we look at how we as a people have derived in the state that we're in from the state that we used to be in, we're creative people, but man, we was way more creative when we was building all them goddamn pyramids and civilizations and jurisdictions and trade networks and advanced shit. What type of mind did we have then? We had a mind that was closer to nature. We had a mind that studied nature. In nature, plants can communicate telepathically. Secret Life of Plants, Dr. Peter Tompkins. In nature, you can have a sun that is burning in space. And flat earthers, you're not going to be able to get away either. Regardless of what you believe, you know for a fact that when you get in a parachute, an airplane, or even walk up a mountain, the higher you go up, the colder it gets. You know that. You also know, because you watched enough videos, that anyone who goes up high enough, it gets dark. Even in the daytime. If they go up in the daytime, by the time they get up, it just gets dark. Now you see a star right there and you see it glowing, but let's ask us a question. Why is it dark and cold if you're getting closer to the sun? Flat earthers or spherical earthers, it doesn't matter. And let's ask ourselves another question. If it's shining hot on the sun and the sun is communicating that signal, heat, photons, etc., why is it dark up here? Like, that's like a flashlight being turned on. It's glowing at the flashlight, but you don't see no light in between. How did the signal go from hot, flaming, and shining to dark and then back to hot by the time it touches the planet? That's nature doing some crazy mechanics and all kinds of things. And yeah, we can explain it, but without even explaining it, nature is doing something phenomenal. Just like some of your ancestors did something phenomenal. Let's look at you. Oh, are you doing something phenomenal? You know why? Because you're disconnected from nature. And your disconnection from nature is hiding your identity from you. So let's go back to studying psychology. Psychology says that you are an unsuccessful prey to a predator. there are predators that go after prey that lose often, because now the prey, it's developed systems. It's a chameleon. It can change colors to the background of what it is, and you can't even see it. So everything in nature has a survival mechanism that increases as it focuses its ability to make itself better and more efficient. And by focusing to make itself, what do you think is changing the color of the chameleon? You say, where did it get that from? Where did it? Natural selection? You got it from that feedback loop. See, y'all think that God is something that it isn't. Y'all think that God is y'all thinking God is something that is not a character. God is not a character where you can make it good or evil. It is a mathematical qualitative function that can be anything. Yeah, that's God. With a polymorphic function. And so by the time it gets down to you, you got a character that somebody made up that ain't real. So the law of possibility is ingrained into the principle of God. Then the ability to create. Now, mirror that down into the human. The human is doing all of that. These are called attributes. You have mirrored attributes of the designer of this whole thing. That should give you a context clue. Now you start studying all types of mathematics and you start learning cause and effect and beginning and ending and all this stuff. And you get really smart. Why is it, even though animals are really smart, why is it nothing is like you though? You're the only one looking for the designer of this whole thing. No one can even think the thought. The answer is simple. When you get your cultural curriculum back, you start to figure it out. I'll use a simple example. Everybody's had deja vu. You saw something in sleep before it happened, and then it happened. How did you see it, since it didn't happen in the material world yet? 2 days before, you saw it before the planets even moved into the position where the sun can shine down on the earth on the 14th of October. You were already seeing it on the 12th of October. And now you're seeing it happen in the material realm. How are you able to do that? Because in our perception, time is the past that already happened, the present, now, and the future. That's how we are taught to perceive time. But since time is circular and spherical, like everything else, actually, it's a circle. Where's the beginning of a circle? Because all the planets move in circles. Where's the beginning of a circle? Now you're going to go into a different curriculum, because now your perception has the heightened. But with the heightened perception comes more ability, practical ability. Everything is moving in a circle. Where's the beginning of the circle? Well, we make beginnings like January 1st, but technically that is us architecting something to, create a little system for ourselves. But technically, it's a circle. You had to be here when the circle was being made to figure out when the beginning of the circle was. And so now, since that is a fact, When we're looking at time and we're looking at a circle and not a line, you're only seeing a line because you're in two-dimensional thought. Get in three-dimensional thought, you can see a circle. Get in 4D, you'll see a sphere. Get in 5D, you'll paint a sphere. 6D, excuse me. Get in 7D, you'll paint a painter who paints a sphere. Oh my God. So it's a circle. So the past is actually just a thing. The present is just a thing, and the future is just a thing. And they don't have an order. They don't have an order. You give it an order. Who is you? Wait a minute. What did you say, Ali? They don't have an order. We give it an order. I'll make it practical. The people who ain't doing nothing now, who love to talk about the past, all the pyramids and all of the whatever they talking about, the jewels and the alchemy. They love talking about the past and ain't doing shit about the future. They're all in institutions that are the representative colonizing systems that colonize all of that hype shit. And they're here now under those institutions agreeing to be a part of it to create nothing. Whatever the gentry and the aristocracy in the now create. Hit the like button. You ain't getting this nowhere. Because now we're about to go into how to stop this. We're talking about the real trap. This is the real trap. Like they running a scam on you. So now because you think time is linear, time is a circle, and now you worried about. So that's a small example, right? The next example is I'm going to college. I'm going to become an MD, and I'm going to because my past was so bad, and I want to be great in the world. And yeah, I want to be great in the world, and I'm going to do this. And you go and you get your PhD and you get your doctorate and you get all of that stuff. Then COVID come and you lost your job and you had to take the vaccine and you got a job back now and you're making $180,000 a year and you feeling better about yourself. You post it on Instagram and you don't know if you want to be in a relationship, but you're going to make this money and you're making the money, but you're sad now and you don't know what to do and the job is getting bored and somebody at the job don't like you. Now you just going through it. Your period is 12 days now. You're stressed out. You go and get another job. Now you're feeling better again and you're doing better and you're doing good and you're online and you're dating somebody now and you think you like them and you get a little older so you really want to settle around and this nigga ain't shit. Damn! Stand this. Now you broke down. You got to go to a psychiatrist and get yourself back and you're talking to your friend, your girlfriends and everybody. They telling you need to be outside again. You ain't old. Get yourself in shape. Listen, might as well go down there and get some Ozempic. You're like, well, I'm plant-based. I really don't want to get an Ozempic. I just want to work it off. And, maybe you get the Ozempic, maybe you don't. But you're feeling better about yourself. You're back outside. You don't even like men no more. You're tired of men. You're going to try women. Try something. Like, is this life where you loop the same frequency that you call a lesson that we just earlier called symmetry, and you're looping the symmetry into the light field? Because that's what you're doing. You're radiating back, and it's bouncing back like spitting it back at you every time. Because you can't penetrate that field. This is why I'm telling you magnets don't have 2 poles, they have 6. And if you understand that, you understand why these lessons keep spitting back at you. Like, it's literally a frequency that is measurable. They tell you a magnet has 2 poles, and I can put a magnet down and push away 6 things to make them all fly away from it at the same time. Video recorded, and try to understand, well, if it only has 2 poles, why was it repulsing in 6 different directions? It's repulsing in 6 different directions because it has a symmetry to the light field that is so immediate. There's no asymmetry in a magnet. You got all the stuff in symmetry, which means you do an experiment and you get a faster result, clearer result. Because now, if you do it in a body, it's happening slower because we have more asymmetry. I have things in me that are magnetic, and I am elucidating magnetic energy, but it's a scale down because ain't anything bouncing off of me. Metals ain't bouncing off of me. No, creation built us in a genuine way so we could touch and feel, and we had to have some asymmetry there, but we still got the symmetry. My point is, your lesson are those things flying away from you in 6 directions. All the stuff that you want to keep is flying away from you. You can't get it. It's a science behind this. And the science is going to get clearer when you understand time. Because that lifestyle of that young lady I just described is the general, it's a generalization. It is. It's not everybody's lifestyle, but that's a very common lifestyle. And then maybe you can have some children in, you could do all kinds of other things. My point is, it's a time track. Now, in our world, we understand that time is a circle or a sphere. And so we plan our reality in any direction that we want to plan it in. For instance, one of the most functional ways to plan your reality is plan it from the future back to the present. And if you can do this, this proves a point. That time is a circle or a sphere. And the rule is it's a created thing. And if it's a created thing, it's from the designer. And if it's from the designer, then the designer has the choice or the option to use the tool however it wants to use the tool. It's a tool. And so if I plan my present from the future, I'm going to say that again. If I plan my present from the future, I just created what some people might call a time cheat code. Because how the fuck are you doing that, Ali? Well, I can, in the class, look at the future in a code. And that code tells me high probability factor of the energies that are present in people, places, and things. And so now that's what you call predictability. Let's go back to the experiment that I mentioned. One of the things that kept those brain cells hitting the ball versus not hitting the ball is the predictability that if they hit the ball, the outcome that they would get was a reward of coherent waves. They did it multiple times and they figured out, if I keep doing this, I'm going to keep getting this result. Predictability. Predictability is a high incentive in the field of nature. Because now you're not stressed by guessing what's next. You feel safe. You're aware. You're prepared. And your preparation is you now know what's most likely next. Not only that, you have the ability, because it hasn't arrived yet, to generate it. created to kindly nudge things into a rhythm that is already pre-written for it. That's not cheating. That's divinity. That's success. And so now you're writing your now from the future. You're here now in the body, but your mind is in the future planning your now moment. And you can go into the past and take a moment of the past that you don't like and erase it so it doesn't exist in the future. You say, wait a minute, what are you talking about? We just talked about gene repair. You can change your whole body of things you have inherited. You weren't there when they were made. They stayed in the present. They don't have to stay in the future. You can play with time how you want to play with time. Time is your tool. Time is your ability to understand that you are a self-designed being and continuing to operate in that natural state so that you're happy. You'll be happy. You will feel safe. You won't react with such tension and stress to things because you're sure. You're just sure. You're not likely not going to be surprised because you know the angle of where things could go. We have to mature human beings to that state of mind. And even if we only get a little bit, that critical mass will be a self-sustaining operation that is secure, safe, with high predictability. What happens when you have people who are in a community like that? They are all practicing a cultural phenomenon that is only guaranteed to enhance their intelligence to learn how to use time as a greater tool. Y'all read about, and you call it sci-fi, but if the internet can move images and things, Dr. Jim Gates, who's known for his studies on supersymmetry, we were watching him the other night, and he said it. He said, oh yeah, well, we could have teleportation. He said, we already have it. We have the internet. The internet is teleporting data, but if you can extend that data to biological life forms through some discovery, you could teleport people, just like you teleport information. Because essentially all a person is more complex information. See, we be sitting back and thinking we're not supposed to think a certain way. But if you invented that, oh, your folk would be good forever. Just think about that. The bridge between more resources or whatever it is that you want is your thinking. The gap between your success and your failure is your thinking, your experimentation, and your thinking. So we know who's scared. You can't hide out here. Are you kidding me? How are you going to hide? We're looking right at you. You are experimenting with anything valuable. Anything. Oh, no, you're not. It's coming out of your mouth. You're disgusting. Like the people who are expanding their minds when they go everywhere, when they're online, when they're in person, they're talking about all the wonderful shit that they're working on. It's their life. Man, you still on the internet talking about who hurt your feelings. Like literally? all you can muster up. Okay, if you say it one time, like, damn, one time a year, maybe. But you're supposed to be in class. Let me put you in class. Where is the link to the goddamn class? Put the link in the put the link in the chat. Y'all better sign y'all ass up for class. The link is in the chat. The link is everywhere. I have an omnipotent link. The link is everywhere, nigga. The link is on Instagram. The link is on X. The link is on Facebook. The link is on StreamYard. The link is on everywhere. The link is everywhere. Get y'all ass in class. What are we talking about here? Like, let me explain something to you just about my life alone. Like, if I could actually tell you all of the people that I have to interact with on a daily basis, all the shit that I have to do, and all the things, you would be looking at me like, nigga, why are you not dead, nigga? How the are you doing all of that? And I'll just explain it like this. A person with a bad back is going to look at a person who's breakdancing and be like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no, nigga. I am not. My shit will be in 1,000 pieces, nigga. I will be Osiris the Jed Pillar. Cracked up. My back ain't broke, bro. And it's ups and downs in life. The shit don't bother me, bro. Like, I don't care. I don't care about what people care about. I learned not to care about those things because they're not real. And so we are worried about so much. And what we need to do is get high, calm down, and think about what really matters. Ask yourself that in the quiet of your own space. Because I'm going to be like, you know what? My cacao matters. I like cacao. My antigens, they matter. I like my antigens. Taking care of my body matters. I'm going to go lay out in the sun. I like the sun. The sun feels good. I'm going to go work out. My body got to be in shape. And you're like, well, bro, when you going to go to work? You talking about all this other stuff? And I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to go do some bioscans to go help heal the community. I'm going to get on and form all kind of business structures for some people today because they need some trust. They need some 508c1As. They need some sole proprietorships. They need the structure to be laid out so they can understand how to get all the remedy that they need from it. Sure, I'll go do that. All right, no problem doing that. That's fun. I'll go teach a class on live to get people prepared for the diagnostic system so they can go and learn the diagnostic system. They can all become entrepreneurs. We can all work in a circle. Sure, I'll go do that. You want to go and do some readings for some people so that they can get the psychological relief that they need? Sure, I'll go do that. You want to go speak at an event? They want you to talk about Black genetics and this stuff that you're talking about. Our bodies are different and we require different forms of vitamins and other things. Like, what is all this stuff you're talking about? Yeah, I'll go talk and do that. Oh, we got think tanks for the doctors or the jurists or something. Y'all want to go? Y'all want to do a collaborative dissertation on it? You want to fly down to Colombia where we're dealing with the cacao systems so that we can look at it and see? You want to get with Sister Ty Lee to go over and get the community farm active. Sure, I do all this shit all day long. It's what the fuck I want to do that came out of my mind and other unified minds who think on the same plane of existence as me. Sure, that shit is fun as a mother. On the way, you might meet some hard-head Negroes, some gossiping Negroes, some like, but that shit is like it's like a commercial. If this is our TV, that's a commercial. It's like, oh, look at that little commercial. Yeah, niggas is commercials to me. Oh, you gossiping, or you don't like her, or somebody want to argue and fight? I'd just be treating that shit just like it is. You're a commercial. Back to regularly scheduled program. Do for self all day long. I got a Mars and Jupiter conjunct in first polarity. Bruh, I'm going to stay on the business, and it's a fire sign. So it's the isolation and the activity. I engineered that by looking at the progressions in my chart. I had a little adjustment that's happening now, but that's nothing in the sense of I'm in a rhythm. Like, and when you're in a rhythm, it's like when you're doing moves, martial arts and boxing, like you train to hit a certain way and slipping punches, and you train that way. It's like, okay, but when you get in a fight, you don't do what you train, you do intuition. Then the training comes out. Because this ain't a heavy bag. This is another man trying to hit you. And you got to slip punches and get out of the way, and you got to do all kind of things, but the masterpiece just comes together. All I'm saying to you is nobody can tell you can't do that, because I am the proof that we brought thousands of people together from one thought. And that thought, it's like, imagine throwing a big rock with thousands of other rocks into a puddle. And when that first rock hits, you get a ripple. But then all the other rocks start hitting, and then just you get ripples and ripples and ripples. That is what this is. We're a bunch of heavyweight perturbations, all on the same frequency in the same field, building our reality. It's a reality we control. When they go down there and they get the bee training, because they're about to go down there and get trained to deal with bees, then we're going to be right behind them. And we all going to be able to handle bees on a farm. One learns it. Everybody else gets in. We take the class. Hey, now we got another trade, another skill. Beekeeping. Beekeeping by next year will be a trade that probably a few hundred of us know how to do. Like, what are these people talking about, bro? People always come asking me, Ali, what you think about so-and-so? What you think about Charleston White? What you think about, bruh? I don't be thinking about it, bruh. No disrespect to them. I hope they, do their thing online and have the ultimate success. I am not a hater. But, bruh, I am not thinking about them. I don't have the space. I don't have the bandwidth. And then when I do get the bandwidth, I'm watching boxing. I'm at the house on Smurf Magic. We ain't here playing spades. We ain't here doing some other shit, bro. Like, we are in another world. We're here doing classes. Because our psychological predictive sciences say the more you are a creator, creating with other people, you're literally generating a world. I need people to understand that. It's possible. Y'all keep saying, look, people keep saying they want to be free. I don't think you know what freedom is. Freedom is literally taking your mind and creating your world, and then living in that world. Because it's yours. If something goes wrong in your world, you know how to fix it. Because you designed it. You designed the world. Listen, I have not seen people in employment for decades, bro. It's grown people that have been born and got into adulthood, and that whole time, I don't know what it's like to get a check from nobody. Like, never. It's almost never now, because time is my tool. I don't even remember it. I don't even remember what it feels like to wait on a paycheck. I work with Tribe. I literally work with Tribe. I feed my children off Tribe. We're working as a tribe. Like, people are talking about, oh, y'all not. Just think about this. They're telling us, oh, y'all not recognized. We be looking at each other like, you recognize me? Hey, you recognize me? I recognize you. Oh, bro, we recognize, bro. What are you talking about? Now you look around. Who do you recognize? Nobody. Right. Why are you asking me, do y'all have recognition, when you don't have recognition? And you don't know what recognition is. We recognize each other very well. We're constantly interacting in a high level communication network that's getting more sophisticated as we go on, because we need more things in it. So we have to build it. What are you talking about? You see how hell can make you think a question is legitimate. Like, we be thinking that a question is legitimate, and the shit is dumb from the start. Like, literally from the start. That nigga is going to go home and eat a dusty, crusty peanut butter and jelly sandwich and jack off to Pornhub, nigga. Literally. That's what he's going to do. He's the one that's asking you, are you recognized? Like, we're going home to beautiful women who love us and we're planning worlds with. Like, I need you to think about that. Like, niggas be online trying to gorilla chess a nigga. Meanwhile, you get off of Facebook or YouTube and you arguing with your girl, and she over there talking about she with another nigga. Like, that's the type of problems you dealing with, nigga. You asking me, you beating your chest at me. We over here like, what is you talking about? And you be like, oh, I heard about the drama in Arna. I know y'all be having drama. And we like, oh yeah, it is people who enact drama. And you know what we do? We problem solve. And if they're peaceful and it was this thing, family having a challenge or whatever, we talk it out, we love each other, we hug each other, we get some cacao, we pop some gummies, we do whatever. Smurf magic, we be right back to business. Or if they are forgetting that this is our world and we problem solve as loving family members, and they decide in their spirit that we no longer family, then we got to take them through the court process in a regular way, in our court process. And then we got to get a verdict. But if they don't even respect that, then, I mean, you can go back over there. And when I say over there, I'm talking about a state of mind. When the people are not looking out for you, they can't disagree with you in a peaceable way to try to make sure that your family is still taken care of. You got community around you, people who want the best for you. You're going to jump out into madness. And so what we're saying about the psychology of people is that there is remedy. There is another way. There's another way to feel, think, and do. There's another way. And you don't have to theorize about it. You're around people who are like that. Bro, I've been working all day long, doing all kinds of stuff for other people. I ain't even eat yet, bro. Like, it's 10:49 here, bro. I'm talking about, this is Sunday, right? Yeah, boom. I'm talking about all day long. I'm not bothered. I'm not frustrated. People just don't understand that healing is a culture. Healing is not an event. Healing is not a session. Healing is not even an experiment. All of those things are inside of a culture. There's a man online saying black people don't have no culture. He was an African. He was like, African. I seen him on TikTok. African Americans don't have no culture. What is their culture? He asking the black woman, and she is a certain demographic. And so let me ask him a question. What is your definition of culture? Because you probably got a different one than me, but that's okay too. Because now I'm gonna go to you. What is your African culture? See, that's a trick question. Because there is no African culture. He's going to have to talk about the various tribes. Fulani, Igbo, Maasai. Where? Who? Which culture? There's thousands of cultures on the African continent. Some of them are emergent. Some of them are divergent. And so some of the Bedouin tribes and the Berbers got way different culture than some of the other tribes. And it's historical explanations for that. But the thing is, it's divergent. It's all these different things. What he doesn't know is that inside of so-called African American culture are a bunch of other cultures. Like, we got all types of culture. Like, we have before people's eyes created an indigenous culture that didn't exist before then. It existed, but we lost it. Then there was traces of it. It was kind of scrubby. But I ain't teaching y'all what grandma taught y'all. That you Cherokee, Chickasaw. Grandma didn't know that we was never Cherokee. Cherokee is only 200 and something years old. Like, no. 400, 300 and something years old. 200 and something years old from the time that it was revealed that was a fact, all right, by one of their own chiefs. But my point is, we are a complex people. Shoot, a dude from New Orleans is not the same as a dude from Florida. It's not the same as a dude from the Carolinas. It's not the same as a dude from Jersey and Newark and New York. It's not the same as a nigga from Houston. It's not the same as a nigga from LA. It's not the same as a nigga from Chicago, bro. You got so many, the way we talk, the language, the music. And yes, we do diverge. Just like we could go like some damn Indian music. That don't mean we East Indian. We just like the music. But inside of our own cultures are compact cultures. Hell, you got the whole Pan-African culture. You got the whole Moorish culture. You got the whole Hebrew culture. Like, they don't understand what they're saying to us is stupid, because what they're really trying to do is insult us. But my point is, the lifestyle that you want to build is a culture. It is the most ancestral thing about our people. Being a tribe. There's nothing wrong with that. That is the same as you got the liver cells over here, you got the spleen cells over here. That is the symmetrical and fractal reality of nature happening. It's dope, but we just got to be productive. If gumbo is a cultural thing, man, that gumbo need to be $59.99 hot made when we come from the Carolinas to come to New Orleans because we came for that. That is a tradition. That is a recipe. That is a whole vibe. We tapping in. Patent the recipe, bro. Create a jurisdiction, an indigenous jurisdiction there. Think in the right mindset because you can answer the question, who am I? Of course, we all got style. Individual style, community style. But what we got to realize is that once we identify with it and have some level of pride in what it is, if the pride and the admiration and the appreciation is authentic, it always grows. You can't fake that. And that's what's happening. People are faking it. And now we're the first one. I don't care what nobody says. In Arna, our tribe is the first one to really figure out if you're faking it. And it's people in Arna that's faking it. But no, we didn't figure that shit out. It's nothing you can do to take away the vetting system that we have right now. Like you can't take it away. You have to kill all of us to take it away. We're looking at all kind of ways of looking at you. And it's very scientific. For the ones who know how to do it, it's very scientific. It's very spiritual. It's very advanced. It's very efficient. You can't fake it. So this is about building a culture, using the institutions to do so. If you have psychological predictive sciences, then you can look in Chris Brown's chart and say, look, bro, I don't think you should take this trip over to Great Britain because of what we can see as a possibility. Do we need to do some type of communications? Oh, damn, you didn't know they had a warrant over there for you. He just went through that situation. He went over there and got locked up for a little bit of time, and he didn't even know he about to do a whole concert. They didn't mess up the money for the concert. Now I'm pretty sure they could reschedule and do all that. But you see how not having something culturally present that can actually be a protection can affect millions of dollars at one event. Hell, you could pay Yogi $5,000, Chris Brown, to do the reading, and then he does the reading on an annual basis. He can predict that shit. That shit would have saved y'all time, millions of dollars, and bad investment. Pull out the checkbook. Sign up for a cyclical $5,000 reading and let the homie go ahead on and show you every day that's dangerous. We ain't worrying about telling the label. The label can just be there like, hey, Chris said he don't want to do the concert at this time because of these reasons. He want to do it at this time. Let's trust him. He is the Hall of Fame entertainer and artist. Sure. Boom. Everything goes smooth. You build more trust. The label even trusts you more. Man, you got a vibe for this thing about choosing when to go on tour and all of this stuff. Yeah, I got a vibe. No, nigga, he got a motherfucking warlock in the back. He got an indigenous warlock in the back. Dropping all the science to create the coherent frequency in another person's life that will deliver every time. See, you don't understand what we're saying. What we're saying is if we follow the right way, we can deliver every time. I need you to think about what I'm saying to you. This is a class coming up right now where we're teaching you, we are creating the culture, we have created the institution, we have created the curriculum, the system where you can win every time. You know what that feels like? I'm going to tell you what it feels like. It feels like the 1% that's over the 99% because they're winning every time because they're more intelligent. But their victory takes to make a slave. Our victory liberates. It liberates everybody. There are no slaves. How can you be a slave to your purpose? If it is, that's the best slave you can ever be. And so the coursework is for the community to transform. And I got some crazy updates. One of the updates is going to be we're going to have an internal app that only we use so that it will speed up the services that you use for your clients. And you get more output faster. I'm talking about advanced readings where you can do hour reading. All right. Voice command explanations, like not just reading explanations. The app will literally read out the reading for you. You can actually be on your thing, open the app, boom, play the motherfucking reading for me. It's electronic, and this is only going to be for the people who are credentialed. I'm not putting the app out to the public. I've been literally running around doing so much other stuff. Like I got like some serious stuff that's going to help the people who are entrepreneurs at Aboriginal University be more efficient entrepreneurs. That's why when we created the Aboriginal University updates and bylaws and all this stuff, we created a treasury and a dues system because all of this is already going to be under there. So not just think tanks, but getting access to apps and all of that stuff. So like I said, it's a feedback loop. The DNA polymerase feeds and makes the DNA. The DNA makes the DNA polymerase. That's when you know you're successful. When we are circling the ideas and the currency and everybody is getting fed. Yeah, everybody get fed. We wasn't about to create these old models where you got one big leader collecting all of the money and then, showing off in front of people, and you create weaker men by doing that because those men are now betas and they up there trying to, whatever. Some of y'all get weird like that in here. Like I be calling it out. I don't care. But we ain't about that. No, we about everybody bossing up. Everybody got boss up. But you gotta actually turn on your creativity. Like, don't be riding another nigga creativity. Get to popping. Don't be riding the next sister creativity. Every time you see a sister do something, now you want to do it, but you want to like put a little spin on it. But I know, everybody where I know done seen what you done did, and you done went over here and copycat. So we gonna call you copycatty. Copycatty. Cause you so catty. You done broke the law. I'm about to call your daddy. Now you get mad. Now you trying to slap me. I'm gonna stay off the bars tonight. I'm gonna stay off the bars tonight. But y'all know what I'm saying. Everybody gotta boss up. This is boss up time. Like, bro, we not playing. See, the thing about this is, man, it's so crazy because along my journey, I have learned humans so good. And this is why, if you see people, how they react to me, it's usually either an extreme level of love or an extreme level of hate. Because I'm going to figure you out. And then when I figure you out and it's your brilliance and your light, we bonded forever. But then when I figure you out and you full of shit, I'm going to try to help you. But eventually you might not like my help because the help is very empathetic. It might be direct, but it's very empathetic. Because I know what time we on, bro. Like, bro, you getting shot at right now, bro. It's ammo coming at you, bro. I need you to understand that you can't be fucking around like this. This is not that, bro. You could get wiped out of the video game, bro. Out here playing around with life. And so everybody doesn't respond to that well. They want you to coddle them. And I don't do that. Because I don't want nobody to do that with me. We can have the most honorable conversation ever, but still be packed with truth. At the right time, because sometimes it's not the time to say something or do something. That's cool. But I'm telling you that we all need that high vetting system. We need that vetting system. That vetting system is going to keep us all responsible. The vetting system that I'm talking about is the same vetting system that each planet uses to stay in orbit. Like they all have a check and balance. It is literally a six poles that keep them all in balance. Everything stays in its space. You will never, listen, let me explain something to you. You will never have planets running into each other. They obey a certain law. And when you do see a comet or asteroid, that is from a dead planet that has lost its charge. Anything that has charge will not bump into each other in creation. Listen, the planets are 100% non-confrontational with each other because they are in their orbit and in their nature. They can't bump up into each other. It has to be a dead planet, only a dead planet, which you call asteroids and comets, that have broken away from a charge field, a life field, can interrupt another planet's orbit. Give me something that's some bars. Do you understand me? So when you see these people trying to come into your field of orbit and disturb your purpose, know and understand that nature is symmetrical and fractal. And so that same person is an asteroid. Because a real live, on purpose person ain't they are so honorable. They would never interrupt your purpose with nothing. Not for a relationship, not for money, not for, you just don't do that. you start understanding what transgression is, that's when you start playing with fire. But these little asteroids who just want to be online and talk shit about you and they don't like you. I don't like you because like, what is you talking about? You ain't even saying nothing, bro. Like, there's no weight in the real universe of purpose. What you're saying has no weight at all. I stepped on your shoe. Oh, I rubbed you wrong. Yeah. Give it up. You need your ass in class. That's what you need. You need to give Aboriginal University a contribution for the exchange of energy for a class that will change your life. You need to get zapped with this bioscan machine over and over until you get your lazy ass up and move. That's where we at with it. And so, in closing, you can't learn this at Harvard University. You can't learn this at Oxford, Princeton, UPenn, University of California, UCLA, Berkeley, MIT. You need to understand that being a problem solver means you are the currency. Being the most creative means you are the currency. Being the most intelligent in designing out services, products, inventions. All from Missouri. We from Missouri. Everybody from Missouri. Everybody is from Missouri. And so you got to show us. All we're saying to our people now is put your pride aside. Stop verifying a world as if it's authentic that you complain about all the time. And consider this. You complain about it and depend upon it, but you don't want to do something to change it. Now you got to deal with your level of honesty for yourself and how much you respect yourself. Because then once you learn to respect yourself, you're going to do for self. And doing for self means you get your creative juices going and you create your own jobs, your own labor, your own whatever, your own philanthropy, your own community networking. Anybody got to worry about the Red Cross? We can give our people food. We don't even got to worry about FEMA. We get some specialists on the ground who know how to handle real life emergency situations because we create a fund to train people to do that. Man, you know how athletic some of these brothers are out here? Y'all got fat firemen trying to save people in a flood. You got niggas over here who can do about 1,000 push-ups. Nigga. Spider-Man damn near. Like, what will the indigenous emergency management look like? Matter of fact, we'll have the forensic psychologist there analyzing the earth weather to say, look, we're going to order the evacuation based on the psychology department, predictive services. Psychology department, predictive services says we need to get up out of there. And where are we going? Let's have a place for them to go. Each local jurisdiction has a safe house or safe houses. We out there eating, drinking Lotus, chilling, while people getting flooded. All because we don't really have intelligence. Just think about this. Y'all got all this time, all these resources and the amount of money, and y'all haven't put together a team of remote viewers or whoever it may be that y'all have already interacted with to help save people in these crises that you could see beforehand. Just think about this. You want confusion. You want non-coherent energy. Non-coherent energy is just the stress that you need to keep people out of their purpose so they can be permanent slaves. Now you're looking literally right now at the link that's on this page as remedy. You just thought remedy was not going to come from a black man. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. They thought remedy was going to come with a suit and tie. But you got a pimp sheet looking like a peach pie. By the way, look forward to Club She coming right at you. We're about to have a powerful event to start it off. It's going to be live up in there. Private, membership only. But we're going to have a lot of fun. That's all I'm going to say. We're about to have a lot more fun. Different type of fun. All right. Because that's what we need. We need some fun. I have nothing else to say. If you are interested in the classes, we're about to get started. So if you want your machines on time and your books on time, hit them links. They're all over the social media, all over the link trees, all over the IG, all over the Aboriginal Medical Association website, all over the Honor Government website. We went over it. You can watch that. Get your ass in class. I won't be teaching these live classes anymore. There'll be other people teaching this because I got other stuff to do. But this is my year, my 9 year. Close it out. Listen, the feeling that I have right now is the same feeling I had when I started ARNA. Like if I could compare what I am feeling. Because at that time, I had studied and traveled so much and did so much preparation for what I was about to do. It was already, when you are well prepared for what you're about to go into, it's just a different feeling. And so the same way I have that feeling about what's about to happen with Aboriginal University, the type of content that is going to be present. The delivery systems, the apps, all the different types of experiments that we're going to be doing just to highlight things. Like it's going to make the internet get strange because some of the stuff we're going to be packaging and putting into little shorts and videos, and they're going to be like, wait a minute, how are they doing that? I already gave y'all some of it. Y'all don't understand how long I've been doing this stuff. 1 year, I brought out some cucumbers that was the size of my forearm, and people trying to figure out how this nigga did that. I did that literally right in this backyard, right behind this wall right here, using a system of metals and magnets. And I captured some rainwater and was making my liquid compost. And yeah, I made the food bigger. So, like, bro, we've been playing with stuff for a long time. We just, we're not on the internet. I think I did that one video. And then I did other videos when we were at the other farm, but it was just basic standard stuff. We was growing okra and all that stuff. But the stuff that's about to come now, like, bro, y'all really gonna think like we like shapeshifters or some shit after a while. After about like, let's see, the next 5 years, y'all gonna be like, nah, bro, something else is going on, man. They got a black ops program or something going on. They with the government, man. They with the government, bro. Don't believe them. They with the government. They're gonna start calling folk in the tribe. They're gonna start calling Arna the Illuminati. Like, y'all literally gonna start calling us that. Because then if y'all see us around other people, then y'all gonna be wondering, like, what's really going on in Arna? Because y'all with some interesting people. No, we are doing exactly what we came here to do. And what we came here to do is to establish purpose. That's it. And that's going to work its way into a beautiful equation. Nobody can stop it. As far as our people are concerned, you had enough disappointment. You have seen enough shenanigans. Do you need to see more shenanigans? Like, y'all done seen you can go right now on the algorithm. Just go to YouTube, open it up. They got all the shenanigans up there. Like, the shenanigans are wild. And they all coming from all kind of different directions. They're in sports, they're in entertainment, they're in community stuff, they're in viral online videos, they're in it's just like shenanigans, bro. Just endless shenanigans. I want to get into some indigenous shenanigans. Like, I'm talking about fun stuff. Like, yeah. Stuff that we can brag about. All right. Yeah, all kind of people send me messages. I think I'm done. I have nothing else to add to this conversation. I hope that y'all all have a blessed and beautiful night. For those of you who are looking for anything from me, I'll be back on schedule tomorrow. And there's a lot of you looking for me for something. But I'm going to get to you as the time allows. Thank you for your time tonight. Hopefully you have a wonderful evening, a wonderful week, and